Alright, I'm just gonna really quickly walk us over to the area we will be working in today. And there we are! Hi spooky people! Welcome back to the channel. My name is Betty Butchimokumibebs, and I think today we'll be having quite a lot of fun. I already said in the last video that this is going to be the area that I was working on next, and you know, I have a few things planned for this. Of course, you can already tell that it's going to be a campsite, which is very obvious judging by where I'm standing, but I have quite a few spooky ideas for this. So why don't we go ahead and get this party started? Alright, so I'm gonna really quickly address my basic idea for this. So I was planning to build something that resembles a kind of murderous, like, you know, something happened, the campers may or may not be alive or dead, we don't know that, but you know, so it's whatever. But yeah, that's my basic plan. I want this campsite to be, well, you know, something happened here. And of course, you already saw the tree circle that was in front of it. Gnomes may or may not have had their hands in it somehow. And this is also where I'm gonna be starting today. I have been toying with the idea of having a kind of gnome forest somewhere on this island, and I thought, you know, what better place than right here? And what would be a true gnome party without some kind of ritual space? So that's what we are creating right now. Or not. As you can see, I don't have a plan what I'm actually doing. So what you're seeing right now is me placing down the pathway that will lead you through the forest and up to the campsite, and then of course over to whatever area I'm building next. And for this one, I've decided to kind of go with this windy, not straight, kind of slithering path that will just kind of lead you towards the campsite. And with this path right here, I was kind of struggling because I didn't really know how I was gonna connect it to the actual, you know, to the wooden part of the campsite. Because it just kind of seemed unnatural to me. But with the end result, how it's gonna be when in the final tour, I actually really like it. And here I'm just connecting the paths with each other. Alright, now we're gonna actually start with the items that I'm gonna be placing down, which, as you can see here, are just a bunch of gnomes and of course the main spooky protagonist of this island, the dolly. And now, would it be a kind of ritualistic scene if there wasn't this fortune-telling kid? I don't think so. I, quite honestly, don't think so. Now, you may ask yourself, what are they counseling over in this little nook that I've created for them? I don't know. Absolutely don't know. And then I was kind of working on something that I thought was the greatest idea I've ever had in my entire life. It's to hide gnomes all over the forest so that when you walk through, every time that you take a step forward, there's a new gnome kind of poking out somewhere. And yeah, there are quite a few of them placed right now. I absolutely love how if you walk past this gnome on the tree stump, actually just pokes out when you're actually right next to it. I love that. Now here you can see me kind of test out if you can see the gnome that I've placed there on the side. And then I thought, you know, in this forest over here, wouldn't it be nice if you like walk through and you see a gnome? Just there in the corner, tiny little gnome peeking through. I love it. Alright, and then I'm gonna start on the actual murder part of this campsite. So of course I can't miss out on my beautiful bloody footprints. And I've kind of figured, you know, there is no one on this island that would actually murder someone except for the gnomes. Because the villagers, they're just too soft. They're too soft. They wouldn't be able to do it. And I'm of course very busy with other things, so I need my little henchman to do the work for me. And then I've also found this child kind of mannequin thingy, and I thought this is perfect for a ghost. So I kind of placed him behind the tree to kind of hide his weird standing ground thingy circle, I don't know how to call it. But him poking out behind that tree, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. I absolutely love these little mannequins. If I would have had this CPR doll, I would have also placed it instead of the sleeping bag. But I don't have that, sadly, so I will maybe add that later. Alright, and what I'm placing right now, just behind those trees, kind of secretly, are bamboo speakers. So that I can have a KK Dirge play on full volume in this area without you actually seeing the speakers. So when you're walking through here, there are some speakers hidden behind the trees that you don't actually see them, but there's still music playing on full volume, which I love. And now I'm just mapping out where I'm going to be placing some bushes and plants, so that you can kind of imagine my thought process, but you won't actually see me plant them. They will just appear at one point. This is also just a basic kind of map out. I will place more plants than I have planned out right now. In winter, I think it is really hard to remind myself that this is supposed to be a Halloween town, autumn-y themed kind of island. So I have to really remind myself there are some fallen leaves in the final island, so I need to be placing down my actual autumn coats. And so for this one, I kind of actually placed a few items there already, and then I was like, wait a second, I need some coats there. So I placed this beautiful autumn leaf coat down, and then I placed this kid's tent. Alright, and here you can see me already placed down some more coats, because I thought, you know, what would they murder with. Obviously, there's only one item. When I first saw that item on the list of new things to place, the chainsaw, I was like, oh, there is gonna be a chainsaw in here. So I already knew as soon as I saw this item, I was gonna buy one. And it was the red one in Nook's Cranny, and I nearly cried. This chainsaw is what the froggy chair is for Froggy Crossing. I was like, oh my god, I finally have it. And I was so happy to place it in an area associated with some bloodshed. And I left this one me digging up flowers scene in there to kind of symbolize I am now cleaning up the beaches and I will place flowers everywhere, which is what you just kind of see me skip to, because as you can see there are flowers now everywhere. And now I'm just kind of placing some fences to break off the area so that it doesn't have this great big entrance, but it's kind of slightly hidden. Well, it's not really hidden because you have this actual stone path, but I think it's not too obvious, which I like. Alright, and here I'm just placing the gnome in front of his weapon. Kind of running around looking if I maybe have something else to do, but it turns out I do not. And with that we come to the final walkthrough of my spooky gnome forest slash gnome ritual slash murder campsite. And as you can see here, I love how all of these gnomes are placed around in the forest for you to kind of explore. And I love how they kind of start to peek out behind the trees, and everywhere you move there's just a new gnome. Alright, and there we have the little ritual site, which I think turned out absolutely nice with all the gnomes in this circle. Just brilliant. Now for this next scene, I kind of have included the original in-game audio for you to hear my hidden music players actually play some music. And now I know there's a lot of audio going on in this scene, but I kind of like it. Look at my absolute perfect acting right there. I think this is going to look even better when we're back in autumn, because then you'll have like this kind of dark greenish brown grass and the weeds will be grown in, and I kind of imagine that's going to look really, really nice. And here I've tried to walk you through the forest in this kind of first-person perspective. But let me tell you, I was struggling because the pathway is so small that I was constantly running into things. But yeah, I think you get the picture. Alrighty, and that was it. I really hope that you enjoyed me building this little campsite. If I have to speak for myself, I absolutely love it. I've been walking through this area quite a few times now, and I am in love with it. Every time that I look at my little gnomes in the forest, I'm like, yeah, this is the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. I, of course, already have plans for what's coming behind these trees that you're seeing in the background, so it will not stay this empty. And I really hope that you'll be there, that you'll be around to watch me build whatever I have planned for that. And I hope that I will see you in the next one. Bye!